Okay, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. Okay, everybody's talking about it, so we're not going to make an exception of ourselves. We shall also join the fray. We want more states in Nigeria, right? Because that's what they tell us in the National Assembly, the joint committee that has just, held a retreat, a 2-day retreat in Lagos, has us understand that, well, they've actually reviewed 55, no less, proposals for new states. 2 boundary, adjustments requests, 278 requests for creation of additional local governments. Well, you can see that it's a full house and they have their work cut out for them. All of them, of course, working with Section 8 of the Nigerian Constitution. That's the Bible for the creation of new states. It's multi-layered. The hurdles you have to cross, if one can call it that, they're numerous. But here we are. Now, our guest this morning is Gloria Okolugbo. Gloria Okolugbo is a consultant, communications and international relations, and she's joining us from the U.S. Good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. May I? Everybody calls you Uncle Yori.
Thank you very much for making time for us. Okay, all that stuff that I just reeled out, that, well, the National Assembly, well, the joint committee of it has just announced that, all of these requests are on. What? If they said that they are bent, well, the word is not bent. They say that they would, they have approved the creation of 6 new states, 1 in each of the 6 geopolitical zones, and that this is something that they are determined that, well, again, I have to be careful by my word. Is determination the right word? But that they see the right way to creating 1 additional state in the southeast zone, because, of course, they have always, had a deficit. They have 5 states, so it'll become 6. In fact, to show how big a deal it is, if these proposals were to go through, our states would jump from 36 to 42. And the breakdown of that is Northwest would now have 8 states, Northeast, North Central, Southwest, and South-South would have 7 states each, and the Southeast would have 6 states. First of all, Gloria, if I may, do you think that this is the right thing to do? Yeah, let me just put it simply like that, that this is the right thing to do.
Thank you so much. I don't know how we're all interpreting it, but what I got from the feelers from that event, from the Constitutional Review Committee retreat in Lagos,
yes,
was that firstly, 1 Southeast state will be created to balance the inequality that is existing.
Exactly.
Thereafter, each zone will have an additional state. Because there is existing 7 states in a particular zone, so that eventually balances out the equation for the other zones to have 7 each. So until the position paper from that review exercise comes out, we will know for sure and clearly what exactly is the position. But from the feelers I got,
yes,
I think that is the position. First of all, zeroing down to having 1 additional state. And that is because we can see in this National Assembly, for the first time, a concrete attempt to deliver concrete technical steps to do something definitive to balance out this equity question. So there has been so much demand for so many states. And I recall being on air recently and a couple of professors were saying the quest for new states will be endless if we continue asking for new states. So this National Assembly has shown the political will and stability in their purpose and in the work they are doing. Let us not leave out the presence of civil society. I think civil society in this exercise is also seriously underreported. And I think they should speak up a little bit more, because it gives a lot of attention to the credibility of this process. You have a whole team of about 31 consultants working with the senators, and the senators are one each from each state representing them. And then you also had the committee from the House of Representatives in a joint session, now sitting down to flesh out what I would call a path to political stability, and narrowing it to the fact that there has to be high stakes discussion on how to stabilize the political question of who gets what, resource control, the issue of representation. When you have a geopolitical zone having just 5 states, certainly each state has about 3 senators, irrespective of their population and their size. So immediately you have just 5 states in one zone. That zone is already underrepresented, because if you're going to vote, they are already behind with 3 senators. So the issue of balancing equity is on the table in concrete steps this time around.
Okay, I get what you mean. So I like the way you started out when you said, look, I wonder what how everybody is interpreting this, because one report is, as I stated in my opening, that actually they intend to create 6 new states, one each in the 6 geopolitical zones, which, if that were to be the case, would then lead us, to, the figure of 8, 7, and 6 instead of 7, 6, and 5. But we need to see a position.
That still sounds like a lack of balance. I think I'm speaking from a position of the fact that I was actually also at the Kanu retreat. Preceding this retreat was a Kanu retreat. And on that table, I heard when they were speaking about the fact that you have one geopolitical zone having 7 states. So, of course, it makes sense for every other zone to have an extra state, if we are talking about balance, to balance up those numbers.
Yes.
So it's from that perspective that I believe that that is what has been concluded. First of all, you have one state completely behind, which is one geopolitical zone completely behind, which is the Southeast. And so they have said one state for sure. That shows the willingness to address first what is the injustice on the table, which they have settled by saying one state is to be created, and that state is from the Southeast. That is settled. Okay. Then in addition, there is a proposal that each geopolitical zone will now have an extra state to balance out the one that already has 7. But like I said, it is subject to us having the report, which should follow very soon, given the level of work that has been put in by these distinguished senators and the team of consultants working with them.
Indeed, you're very right, because there is, I think most Nigerians who follow these kind of matters know that it's not a light task to create states. In fact, the point has been made that it is those who found it easy to do only that have done it, namely the military. And we're not in the military anymore. And so having this kind of a situation here where you have to, you have to jump through these hoops. Among them, there will be a referendum in some cases. You have to get 2/3 majority in a number of cases. You have to traverse all the state houses of assembly. All of that is plenty. It's quite a lot. And that is why, what is it really the most, equity, fairness, and justice are all very, very important. Is it on that premise that you think we should go through this exercise?
Thank you for asking that question. That brings me to part of the agenda for that particular retreat. And it wasn't just about meeting to talk about states, it's meeting to talk about vital things to be altered in the Constitution. And part of it, from what I saw, was strengthening institutions. The conversation, for me, I have a civil society background myself. The conversation, development background. The conversation shouldn't always be the fact that we have always gotten states from military. And so it is impossible for us to get it from a democratic process. We're talking about our ability to build our institutions. We're talking about our ability to grow as a people. If we have a constitution that says we the people, and we have not been able to prove that this constitution was given to us by we the people, now there's an informed, concerted effort by this National Assembly to give us the kind of constitutional amendments that we can see the level of work being put in, resonating in such a way that you can see that they understand what they are doing as legislators. And I think that this particular assembly is completely underrepresented in the media for the people. I think Nigerians need to follow the process. So that, sorry, excuse me.
Okay, just take it easy a bit. Okay, we'll be right back on the conversation we're having with. Okay, just made room for Gloria to take a sip of water, and she's going to be right back. We're looking at the approval in the constitutional exercise of the National Assembly to indeed create additional states for the South. Well, it depends on who is talking. For instance, we are saying for the Southeast, but as I said, and we've discussed it with Gloria, other people are reporting that actually it's not just in the case of the Southeast. But Gloria, I hear that you're ready now. Sorry about that.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay, then. All right. So would you like to continue then, or do we go to...
Yes, I can go on.
Yeah, please.
So on the table, you had issues like local government autonomy, citizenship,
yes,
inclusive governance, electoral reforms, strengthening institutions, security, state police, resource control, and judicial reforms, human rights, a whole lot of issues. Uncle Yari, my village people don't reach here.
I was almost going to say, no, you'll be okay. Just take another sip. Are you... or should we just take a quick break? Let's just take a very quick break.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm actually fine because my village people are in control. They are very good people.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Continue then.
Yeah, so we're talking about a shift actually in the focus from just having vague ideas and everybody always saying, no, this is not our constitution. We didn't give ourselves this constitution. So there's now an attempt by the power, those who are sitting on the seat of power representing the various states, and then with a team of very qualified, the consultants with this Constitutional Conference committee, they parade a number of senior advocates of Nigeria, people who are in touch with the people at the grassroots level, development consultants, very senior civil society actors. There are so many consultants working with this committee. And then you have the ranking senators who have legislative experience, and they know what it takes to horse trade among themselves, vote among themselves, prioritize what is important to their people based on the mandates that they are given. And all of that political beauty and legislative excellence was in display in Lagos. And I also saw it in Kano myself firsthand. And so they've been able to come out for the first time. It's no longer about saying people were enjoying the conversation of saying we are asking for 45 states, we are asking for 35 states. It looks like it's a tall order. And so hiding under that tall order, you find that it was always looking seemingly impossible to address the situation. Now, for the first time, they have zeroed down collectively that there is an equity question and that the Southeast needs one state first to correct the political imbalance. And that it speaks a whole lot because it speaks to the revenue sharing formula. It speaks to representation. And it just speaks to fairness as a people. It speaks to political instability and the issue of marginalization coming from the Southeast. And to get the collective to agree to this fact, it shows us the quality of representation, the tribalized Nigerians that we have in the Senate, and how we've been able to come to the fact that we agree that this is the situation and we're ready to correct it. And I think Nigerians should applaud that. And then moving forward, it now opens up the issue of, okay, what about fairness for every zone and all of the other issues around state creation? There are so many other states that feel that they are viable, they deserve and can have a state. Now, the ability to sit down and align and produce this one state for the Southeast is very, very important. And that also will show the maturity and the fact that there are things that are important to be considered in presenting this one state on behalf of the people of the Southeast. The most important factor when it comes to that is viability of the states. We know that there were times when states used to go cap in hand to even pay salaries. So number one, viability places Anioma State. I have to start with my own. Places Anioma State.
That is being sponsored. That is being sponsored. That bill, the bill for that is being sponsored by Senator Ned Nwoko.
Distinguished Senator Ned Nwoko, who has doggedly fought to bring that to the forefront. It has been a request that has predated him. It's a request that has been on the table right from the beginning of state creation. Don't forget, the Midwestern states was the only state that was subjected to a plebiscite, and it's actually the legal state that Nigeria knew that went through this process that we're about to go through.
Okay.
And even after the other zones were, divided into several states, how many states have even come out of that zone? Just two of that Midwest zone. Just two. Okay. So Senator Ned has carried what the...
I tell you what. Please excuse me. Let me take a viewer who has called in, and then we'll continue with this from where you left off. Good morning, Mr. George. What state are you looking for yourself?
Good morning, Uncle Yori, and good morning to the guest.
Good morning.
Uncle Yori, please pardon my curiosity. Is the guest related to our friend Ben Okolubo? Because they speak the same way.
They are blood siblings.
Okay. Right. Uncle Yori, I have a different view about creation of states. The basis of creating a state is land size and homogeneity of communities, if I'm correct. Now, the Southeast that has been asking for an additional state, the argument has been that it will create balance. But there are states...
But sorry, sir. It's not only the Southeast that has been looking for another state, though.
Yes, in addition, others are still asking
Ibadan State is still there.
That is why I'm even saying that our politicians should not start what they cannot finish. There are 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. Each of the geopolitical zones do not have the same number of states. For example, the Northwest has 7 states. Northeast, South-South, Southwest have 6 states each. Not central. It's the Southeast that has the lowest number, and they have been saying they want to balance it. If you are talking about balance, it means every zone should have 7 states then. I will go to now make it 7 states all around. We should not leave. Our problem in this country is governance. This creation of is just a way of creating patterns or creating offices for politicians. That's not what the common man needs. We should talk about how to govern what is already in existence and make sure that everybody feels the impact of governance. It is not when a commissioner comes from your village that you now know, every village will now know that they can feel their impact. That's where this argument is taking us to. And we don't need it. Very soon, every local government wants to become a state. And once you start granting the states, you won't be able to stop it. So the best thing is not to start it. Let's concentrate on governance.
Okay.
Even if you say the Southeast has the feeling shortchanged and you want to make it a sixth state, the whole of the Southeast, for example, the 5 states in the Southeast, their size is not up to Kano State. Their population is not up to Kano State. That is one state. When I hear the people talking about these things, I wonder whether they really think this.
Okay.
If you put sentiment into it, it will never end.
Let's get a reaction from our guest, Gloria Okolugbo, to that. The viability of all these things that we desire for ourselves. It's one thing to desire states, desire equity, equality, but would such creations actually be viable?
I was talking about viability when it comes to resources and standing on their own. The issue of land mass is a very, very uninformed and not a wise way to talk about the issue of state creation. You have to talk about the resources. Where is it coming from? And when you talk about power equation, you're not just talking about people occupying positions for the sake of occupying positions. The power politics is about the allocation of these resources to the places where these resources are coming from. The power question is about, for instance, we are voting on an issue that affects the South-South, and then you have less than 3. You don't have 3 voices on the table that could have made a difference in that vote. So I think the National Assembly has to do a lot more enlightenment around what the power equations are for Nigerians to understand. There is no vague conversation about good governance. Let us just talk about good governance. Good governance doesn't happen in a vague or abstract way. Good governance is about, in this context, we are running a democracy. And at the end of the day, when everybody has their say, the majority will have their way. So most things are subjected to votes on the floor of the National Assembly. So when things are subjected to votes and you are already 3 votes behind as a zone, how do you make your voice on the table impactful? Everybody has to come with on a level playing field. And then what else did he address? The issue of governance, good governance in itself is addressed from the point of view of all of these matters that we have put on the table. And the ability to tinker even with this constitution, we have come to a point where we have the right set of people on the table, as it were, because if it was for selfish consideration, Nigerians wouldn't have seen a National Assembly that has first of all zeroed down and said, no, this is not right. We cannot have 3 voices off the table for the Southeast. It is not politically balanced.
But it is not this National Assembly. It is not this National Assembly. I beg your pardon for interrupting you. It's not this National Assembly that inaugurated the idea. The idea precedes this assembly.
Oh, they did it, yes, that's right. They didn't inaugurate it, but I'm giving them, because everybody is saying, when they started, people were saying it's just a jamboree as usual. They will never, we have to stop this kind of conversation as a people. We need to grow our institutions. Every time I'm on air, I use the opportunity to talk about it. They have zeroed down on the technical aspects and telling us, like he was saying, that it's an endless exercise. He's taking us back to what has been happening or what they have been saying before we got to this stage. This stage that we are in is the stage where we have now said, irrespective of the 100 and something states that people are desiring, let us have one that first of all balances the equation for the Southeast. that is shortchanged. Then we now think of the fact that irrespective of landmass, you cannot be talking of states as per just landmass. There's too many issues involved.
Okay.
Now, because one geopolitical zone has 7, the balance comes when every other zone has 1 extra, and it becomes 7 for all.
Well, according to the news, northeast, north central, southwest, south, they all have 7. They all have 7 now. Top of the scale, there's the northwest. Northwest will now have 8, and then the southeast will have 6, which goes back to the gentleman who spoke first, saying that, look, the way this thing is going, what do we now do? If southeast... Let
us wait for the position paper to come out. I think the interpretation might actually be wrong.
Okay.
Because the interpretation is to balance the equity. I don't think it will give room for another imbalance. So let us wait for the interpretation to come out from the National Assembly. What
all right.
I am made to
I'll come and make a comment on that.
The spokesperson.
I beg your pardon for speaking over you. I beg your pardon. Yeah. I'll come back and address that as per the news that we have for the moment. But Dr. Durosimi wants to join the conversation. Dr. Durosimi, AIG retired. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. My opinion about creation of states is that if we start it now, it will be a continuous exercise. Just look at the number of political parties we have in Nigeria. Do we decide the number? Once they finish the creation of states now, the next additional creation of states. That is my fear. And if you have to create state at all, let's go back to the colonial era where we are provinces. If we look at it that way, I don't think we need more than maybe Jebu State will qualify. And other provinces that have not created states on.
Yes.
As a result, we must continue to look for how to govern. If you create more administrative centers, there may be no funds to. If not for political sagacity of President Tinubu in not subsidizing the naira and fuel again, most states would have been going cap in hand to beg for money. Most states will have been depending on loans to run their state. Today, to God be the glory, no state is not paying salary. No state is not doing anyhow to be needful. So we must be very careful about creation of states, because the creation of one today is the beginning of another one tomorrow. And at the end of the day, we'll have about 67 states. How will they survive?
Okay, so what you are saying, in conclusion, sir, what you are saying is that you are not behind this whole idea of creating extra states.
If we have to create states at all, let's go back to the provinces that states have not been created from.
Location shares, and alongside the constitutional review, you also have the issue of local government autonomy as the first agenda that they had on their discussion. So it is not a lopsided consideration just for only states. It is a holistic approach to constitutional review that addresses all of the gaps that we have.
278.
Handle these situations.
278 requests, according to the honorable gentleman, have been made for the creation of additional local governments. Is there someone on the line waiting to speak? Okay, I tell you what, we'll just take a quick break. Gloria will be right back. We'll continue this conversation.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome back. And, our guests, Gloria Okolugbo. Madam Okolugbo is a communications consultant. She's also a consultant on international relations. It wasn't that much of a mouthful. I don't know why. But Gloria is with us. And we're now being joined by Chief James Ugwu, who is chairman of Adada State Creation Movement, or is that an initiative? Good morning to you, Chief James Ugwu.
Good morning, my brother.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Well, Chief Ugwu, we're hearing your voice for the moment. Maybe we'll get to see your picture, your video very, very soon. But on set right now is also Gloria Okon, who is a communications...
Okolugbo, not Okon.
No, I'm sorry. And thank you. Thank you for that vigilance. It reminds me of the vigilance the president, charged all those new service chiefs with. Thank you for that vigilance. Gloria Okolugbo. She's a communication specialist and indeed consultant, as well as one on international relations as well. So, Chief James Ugwu, Adada State creation. Tell me about Adada State against the backdrop of what we're hearing. There are those who say, why are we going this way? Is this the most important thing? So how say you, Chief Ugwu? Okay, we still have issues.
Well, thank you for having me. Okay. First and foremost, I overheard one of you saying that there is no need to create a state and talking about viability and all that. Yeah. I think he's getting it wrong.
Okay.
You should remember that states and local governments are part of indices through which revenue are shared. So if you say that states are not supposed to be created, and then you are not talking about bringing local government closer, very close to the people. When you create more more states, you have more. And let us not forget in this country that our population is growing on daily basis. So if you had, for instance, in a state that had about 5 million people the last census, by now I think they are getting up to 9 million. So one administration is not going to be enough. So there is every need for state creation. More so, what is most important is that there is need for equality of number of states, political zones, as well as local government, the revenue. Hello?
Okay, yeah. I think we could. I think we can hear you, but the quality is another problem. But I think we made it out but maybe it has settled down now. The southeast, I imagine that it's going to be in the southeast where there were 5, because southeast is made up of Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Imo. So if another state were to join that, as Gloria was saying earlier in the program, that is on the principle of equity and balance. But then, I don't know if you also heard this, I'm hearing that the committee is actually, the Joint Committee on the Constitutional Review is actually looking at, one state uniformly, one additional state in each of the geopolitical zones. I don't know. So she was saying, and rightly so, everything will depend on the interpretation we get. It's not, so if that were to be the case, then the imbalance would remain. So that if the Southeast goes to 6 states from 5, then the people that had the people that had 6 before, Northeast, North Central, Southwest, South, these will now go to 7, and Northwest up there will now go to 8 since it had 7 before. Have you heard anything about this whole confusion in interpretation?
It's not confusing. It's not confusing.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
This is very, very important because I actually want to tell you that when the committee announced one extra state for the Southeast to bring the Southeast to, at par with the other geopolitical zone, all Nigerians were very, very happy about it. And not just I hope you remember that the man who moved the motion is Senator Ningi, who is not even from the Southeast. He noticed, and of course, anybody in this country would have observed that the cheating, the marginalization of the Southeast is just too much. So when he moved that motion and it was seconded and they passed it, personally, what I felt in mind is that one state to bring Southeast to the par with others, then on the second tranche, they now agreed to create one state per geopolitical. So the meaning is that one state will still come back to another one will get back to Southeast. So that
exactly
can be 7-7-7. So anything outside that is not acceptable.
How about the Northwest? How about the Northwest? You leave the Northwest.
And repeating it again. And why didn't it?
Okay.
No,
okay.
The Northwest are already 7.
Oh, okay.
So
they will stay there.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. In fact, I think that's what.
Now,
okay. That's why Gloria was saying that it's not confusing at all.
I don't even believe. See, let me tell you my opinion. Hold on, can you hear me? I don't even believe that the National Assembly want to do it that way. Only social media can say anything. I don't think that any right-thinking person will decide to give a particular zone 8 while we remain 6. Then what are you talking about? Why are you talking about correcting imbalance? You just said, and the worst of it all is that those who gave Southeast 5, we didn't know them. They are the soldiers. But now those who are trying to leave us at 6, while others are 7 and 8, we know them. So it's not proper. Nobody's going to accept it.
Okay, so what you are...
Can you hear me?
I'm with you. I can hear you, Chief. So what you're saying is that in the first instance, 6, because I saw Gloria nodding her head to that. In the first instance, 6. But then, if you want to go round again, as you said, then Southeast is also going to get its own addition so that it is at par with everybody else. And Northwest, that was already 8, already 7, instead of going to 8.
And that was the original, that was what? Can you hear me? That was in the mind of those who said, let us give Southeast 1 first. Then at the second argument, they now generally agree that every zone should get 1-1. So how can they exclude Southeast from the second start?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Gloria,
yes, I think
let me
it's
come. I don't know
pretty...
what the kind of the time you are going to give me. Let me come here. Excuse me, Bamidele. Can I?
Sorry, what was that? What did you say?
So what I'm saying is that we are supposed to have seven states, and that is equality.
Okay, 7 states. So as far as your interpretation, going to 6 is not 7 and Adada, if I'm saying it rightly.
To have seven states.
Adada will be one of the 2 extra states, right?
Now I want to come into what my sister said here.
Gloria Okolugbo.
Every political zone.
Carry on, please. Chief Ugu, carry on. Can you still hear us?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Carry on, please.
Is the only state that the 2 imbalance. The first imbalance is that when you come to Southeast, we are sharply divided into northern Igbos, and the southern Igbos are known as Ndiagbenu. Nobody can deny this. Now the states, Anambra, Imo, and Abia. Now understand me. So any other state that is coming, we have also started marginalizing the northern Igbos again. And if that happens, I wonder whether we'll be able to participate in what you call what we are proposing as a regional administration, because by then we would have already been not just marginalized but destroyed. If we are going to join 4 states from the southern Igbo, we are going there with 2 states. And because of that, the entire northern Igbos, no other agitation except Adada.
Adada. Okay.
You understand me?
Okay,
so
I do.
Everybody, and remember that during the Ken Nnamani's regime as the Senate president, there was a time the president wanted one state to be given to the Southeast. And then the leadership of the National Assembly from the Southeast came down, they met, we all met at Owerri. After all said and done, they went back to Abuja, they voted, and that was the choice of the entire senators, the entire National Assembly members. And since that time, nothing has changed.
All right.
There is nothing has changed from that thing. Because
thank you very much, Chief.
Adada had 5 votes.
I get you. I get you, Chief. I get you, Chief. Now I understand.
Adada had 5 votes.
All right.
Adada had 5 votes. Orashi had 3, and Abba had 2. Nothing.
Okay. Yeah, Gloria. Please,
and then again, let me.
No, Chief, no. Because we have a guest that we have not heard from. I want to hear from Gloria Okolugbo, please. Chief, we allowed so much time because you have a bit of catching up to do. Gloria, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. I think I'm kind of being conservative because I'm not the spokesperson of the Senate. Just like you know, but there has to be a whole lot of enlightenment around that for Nigerians. It's actually pretty clear from what came out from that retreat that the issue of states was taken on 2 levels. First, to give the Southeast 1 additional state. That is agreed to balance the fact that others have 7 each and 1 has 8. And then on the second level,
six.
you now have,
6, not 7, 6.
Sorry, 6. The Southeast has 6. And so the others have 6, yes. And one geopolitical zone has 7.
7,
so
that's
when you
northwest.
give the Southeast 1, that is the first priority, to give the Southeast 1.
Okay.
That becomes 7 each and that becomes 6 each and 1 having 7. Now on the second level of balancing, now still another lack of equity.
Yes.
Is to go around all the other states
and give them one more.
They all have 7. They measure up to 7.
Okay.
So it's pretty straightforward. There won't be any 8 and 6. No.
Okay.
So when they go round, the Southeast will now be entitled to their own additional state again to make sure they become 7. And the one that already has 7 is the one that every other person is balancing up to level with.
Me too.
So it's pretty straightforward, actually. I believe that even after this, coming out of this conversation, the Senate will make it clear when the paper comes out.
I certainly hope so. And we've almost run out of time, but not quite. And the conversation is getting more interesting. And thank you very much, Gloria, and indeed to Chief Ugu for the way he has explained it. But I think the confusion, which Gloria said is actually non-existent, was that how can, if you've given Southeast 6 and they've now, leveled up with everybody else, now they say that they want to give them the other states, the other zones, 1 each. That would just reinstate the imbalance. So to forestall that, what we're going to have now is that we'll just bring everybody to have 7. The way Gloria has just explained it, the Northwest will not go to 8.
I think I'm getting a correction. Because I'm in touch as I'm speaking. The correction I'm getting is that every other zone will just have 1 more round. I think when the paper comes out, we will see it.
Yes.
Because of the issue of land mass.
Yes.
Maybe because of the issue of land mass.
I think Chief wants to say something. Let's hear what Chief wants to say. Go ahead, Chief. Chief Ugu, go ahead with what you wanted to say.
But Gloria, are you saying? Tell us. Are you saying that what the information you have is that every other zone will get 1? That is Southeast, for instance, is additional 1. Is that
yes? Every other zone will have 1 each. Yes, including the Southeast. Yes, including the Southeast.
That's the correct thing. That's the correct thing.
Because I mean, if everybody is having one extra state, I mean, it's also good to put a stop, so to it, to all of the agitations. Because what happens is when there's a new state, it's not just about creating the state. There are new local governments, and then there's also boundary adjustments.
Exactly.
So
there are two boundary adjustment requests.
All of these agitations will be taken into consideration internally.
Well, these are very much proposals. I'm so sorry to jump in. These are proposals at this stage. All these proposals will be brought to a committee of the whole House, and they will take a vote on it. But so far, so good. I want to thank you very much, Gloria Okologwo.
I want to thank my village women. You know, I had that issue with coughing.
Okay, so thank you very much. Let me also thank Chief James Ugu, Chairman Adada State Creation. I also greet you too, Gloria. We've run out of time, but thank you very much. Okay, so that's our program today. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folane. Bye-bye for now.